Real quick, I want to do a fair use. Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. I want to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. I'd like to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners, who phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father, and have come back to the fold, Shalom. To you sisters, you Akhwathim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Aram Yahawada with the lesson.
We're under invasion from within. No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. We're stopping it very quickly. After spending trillions of dollars defending the borders of foreign countries, with your help, we're defending the borders of our country from now on. I told Pete we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military, National Guard, but military, because we're going into Chicago very soon. That's a big city with an incompetent governor, stupid governor, stupid. We have many cities in great shape too, by the way, I want you to know that. But it seems that the ones that are run by the radical left Democrats, what they've done to San Francisco, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, they're very unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one. And this is going to be a major part for some of the people in this room. It's a war too. It's a war from within. Portland, Oregon, where it looks like a war zone. And I get a call from the liberal governor, "Sir, please don't come in. We don't need you." I said, "Well, unless they're playing false tapes, this looked like World War II. Your place is burning down. I mean, you must be kidding." "Sir, we have it under control." I said, "You don't have it under control, Governor, but I'll check it. And I'll call you back." I called her back. I said, this place is a nightmare. We're under invasion.
Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 23. And at the trump, right, which is going to be the last trump, right, shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid, right? And that's the time that we're about to live in, man. We're about to live in a time that every man is going to be afraid, man. Even those who are of the elect, man, you're going to be afraid, man. Because there's no guaranteed ticket, but it's guaranteed that the Lord is who he say he is, right? You just got to constantly believe that the Lord is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him, right? And it says at that time, right? What time? The evil time, right? A bad time. Shall friends fight one against another like enemies, right? And see, we of the hopeful elect, though there's disagreements, we're not of the world. So we don't fight like enemies, man. Right? You have your disagreements, you keep pushing, and the work still must be done. Right? Let Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai be true, and every man is a liar. Right? We just got to keep pushing. It says, and the earth shall stand in fear, man. And that's what we all must do. Be in fear, man. Right? Especially being that hopeful elect. Right? Because these other people are going to be fearful just because their circumstance changed. But we're in fear before the circumstance changed. Well, our circumstance changed when the Lord called you. You're called into this thing, and your circumstance change, which gave you the fear to follow when times were good, but now times are what are bad, man. Right? He it's in a time of what he said he wants to use these cities for training grounds, right? Which show you that these people are your enemies. And it says, with those that dwell therein, right? Where you dwell at in America, Babylon the Great, the springs and fountains shall stand still, right? There ain't gonna be any water. The way the water and everything flows, the way the hustle and bustle of America, it's already starting to slow down now. Wait till it's just at a standstill, right? It's gonna stand still, right? And in 3 hours they shall not run, right? So you got a time where things are not gonna happen, right? Because the Lord said it's gonna be like a baby when it comes when it comes forth from his mother as a woman in travail about to get birth within a couple of hours, right? Yeah, so this is 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 37. Behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. The plagues, right, which are going to be these different calamities that come upon earth, right, via race wars, pestilence, the micro-C-HIP, World War III, ultimately the ICBM, intercontinental hypersonic ballistic missiles that hit Babylon the Great, right, which is the second death, right? Draw nigh, it's very close, and are not slack. So look, as you can see, time is speeding up. Even scientists are saying it. Everybody can feel it, like time is going by fast, right? Because this is the time that the Lord is speeding up the time. He said he's going to shorten the days for the elect's sake, right? And this is that time, as when a woman with a child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of birth, right? And then we just read in that other chapter, it says by the 3rd hour it should be at a standstill. And that's what's going to happen, man. It's going to come quick, and then next you know, the whole world's going to be at a standstill, right? Nothing but fear, death, pestilence, race wars, right? The regular, the new normal, right? The what they call it, the purge is going to commence, right? And it's going to be through this draconial measures, right? Speaking as a dragon, right? Spoke as a lamb, but now speaking as a dragon, right? And it says of her birth, great pangs compassed her womb. So great calamities are going to come to America, man, right? One friend shall fight another, right? That's the things that's happening. Civil war, race wars, right? It says when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment, right? And as we get closer and closer to that time, yeah, they're not. As you could see, Trump is moving fast, right, to bring the military to one city, then to a next city, then to a next city. He's doing that pretty fast. Like the whole little thing in LA was not that long ago, right? Now we're already talking about troops in Chicago and St. Louis and stuff like that, right? It says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, right? So it's not just going to be Babylon the Great. The whole earth is going to go through this, man. Because what? It is judgment, right? The Lord says he's going to try the whole earth. The whole earth must be tried. To come upon the earth and the world which mourn, right? Lack of food, lack of bread, sleep. You're gonna lack sleep, man. Right? When you gotta when you gotta run from a lion, then from a bear, right? Right? And then you're still not safe because you may get bit by a serpent when you put your hand upon the wall, right? Which is in Amos, which I might have to get, because these are the times that's coming. Because the serpent may be a literal snake, but it may just be one of the people that you thought you can trust, right? Because we use snake also as a what do you call it? How do you say it though? I'm trying to think of how you say it. But it's, metaphor, right? It's a metaphor. And the person you thought you trust, and you run into the house, and that person be the one who set you up, man. You see that in the movie. What's his the Book of Eli? They went to nice old people, and you thought, dang, yeah, this is nice old people. They're gonna let us in their house because these people are coming after us. These nice old people are gonna let us in, but really, it was really a snare, a trap, because they became, in that time, became what? Cannibals. Which that's coming. That's gonna be here real soon. Cannibalism, once again, and the world shall mourn, right? And sorrows shall come upon it on every side. See, and there ain't gonna be nowhere to run, right? Because they're pushing forth the MARK, the Charagma Carax Grapho. So you must comply or die, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. It says 2 Ezra chapter 16 verse 40. Oh, my people, right? You so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And that's what's ultimately what Trump is telling you. There's a battle about to happen, right? Right? And ultimately it's spiritual first, right? We're getting our spiritual loins brought up, right? As men, right? Preparing ourselves, preparing our families, right? As men of the Lord, right? As men of the Lord should. And in those evils, be ye even as pilgrims upon the earth, right? So really, you got to be ready to be a pilgrim, right? There ain't no time to be a straight up family man if especially if your rib ain't acting right, right? You teach, you tell her, you warn, and hey, the same thing goes for your rib, man. Whether they hear or forbear, right? It says, because he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, right? You may be in doing your thing. You got a business, you got things operational. You got your things, you're not letting things slow you down, especially the yabi, the jump shot. You did some moves, and now you got your own personal thing. So nobody could just fire you, right? So you might be making some little cash now. You're doing your thing, right? But at that time, hey, you got to be like, hey, it's time to flee, and he that buyeth as one that will lose, right? Hey, I buy, I sell, hey, and you as a person who buy and sell, you do your thing. You have loss all the time, right? But you got to know how to lose you got to lose it all, right? Let it all go. Because what? When the battle comes, these race wars, you see the military's prepared. Ain't gonna be time. Oh, well, hey, I know the military's in my city, and he wants to use it for training grounds. I still need to run my business. And hey, man, there ain't no time to be running no business when a battle is going on, right? Especially you being a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Don't fool yourself and play yourself like you're a traditional Black American. You're this great Latino American, as if they give a damn. Well, they don't, right? You know, only if it could benefit them at the time, and then they'll discard you, right? He that occupieth merchandise, as he that haveth no profit by it, right? And he that buildeth, right? You may build homes and rent them out, and whatever the case may be, as he that shall not dwell therein, right? See, hey, you know, you ain't finna dwell in these things, you know, not much longer. It's coming. You could see it. It's on the horizon, right? So to speak. It says, he that soweth as if he should not reap, right? There's a bunch of Jake farmers, right? There's some Israelite farmers. They straight up know that they're Israelites, and they're farming. They're doing this. They're doing that. Hey, you sowing? Hey, it should be as if you're not gonna reap. Get up out of there. Hey, even us doing the word. Oh, doing the word is basically like farming. We're sowing. We're laying down the seed of the word. Hey, it's going to be a time that the Lord will shut our mouths up, man. Your tongue is going to have to cleave to the roof of your mouth. You're going to have to be dumb, right? And not say a word, right? You're just going to have to be what? A pilgrim, right? Ain't no need to talk no more, man. You mean? Judgment is out, right? The plagues are sent. And who should bring them back, man? Nothing, nobody, right? You know, so it says, so also he that planteth the vineyard, as he that shall not gather grapes, right? I don't know how many brothers has got their own wine. You might be, you know, skipping grapes, got your little wine, you know what I'm saying? You know, doing your thing. Hey, I don't know. You know, it'd be nice if brothers is doing some, you know, nice little things like that. But you got to let that go, right? It's going to be time where you got to, everything is going to be left to the inhabitants, man. You have to be a pilgrim. You have to be like Abraham. Abraham got told by Yahweh to go into a land, and I'll tell you, just head this direction, and I'll tell you when you get there. Like, he didn't even know where he was going. And we're going to have to have that same spirit. We're going to not even know where we're going. Right? But Lord willing, the Lord is with you brothers, man. You true brothers, man. That marry as they that shall not have children, right? So people are getting married, and you know, they trying to get their life together. A lot of people are really seeing that it's time to grow the F up, right? Right? So people like, I think we need to get married, not do all this other crazy stuff. But hey, even with that, you can't be like, yeah, let's get married, let's have children. This ain't really a time to have children. But at the same time, if the Lord bless you, and Lord willing, you're a man of the Lord is going to take care of you and your children. You know, your wives and your children. So you know what I mean, you're going to be good. But at the same time, you don't know that you're the elect. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that you're the elect. So do you really think it's a good time to have children? And they that marry not as widows, right? So, hey, if you ain't even got a wife or a husband or whatever, right? Sisters, if you don't got a husband, don't get a husband. You men that don't have a wife, you don't need a wife. Hey, Isaiah 4 is about to commence. It's about to happen. So you're going to have it anyway, right? And then the Lord will take care. Then you should know who are my chosen, right? You know, so to speak, you know. Matter of fact, I think it's in this one right here, right? Where am I? Where was that? It was a right here. Yeah, right. 30. Second Esdras, chapter 16, verse. Matter of fact, man. Matter of fact, yeah. Let's just. I'll start at 71. The second Esdras, chapter 16, verse 71, and they shall be like madmen. Right. Trump, man, that's what they're about to do, man. Bring in that military. They should be like madmen, sparing none, but shall spoil and destroy those that fear Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shai. And that's ultimately what this is all about. It's really about their kingdom is coming down because the proper teaching, the proper doctrine, the proper what do you call it? Wine, meat, water is being presented, right? Let all that are thirst come hither. And what did the Lord told the lady at the well? If you knew who you were speaking to, you would ask of me, and I would give you living water that you would never thirst again. So we're at the time that we're never thirsting again, Lord willing. You know, I'm of that number. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of the streets. Out of their houses, Salakia, and cast them out of their houses, well, basically into the streets, and then they declare that homeless is illegal, so then they throw you into prison, right? And these in most cases, or concentration camps, right? That's the time we're fastly approaching. And then shall they be known who are my chosen. See, and that's what's coming on. That's what's happening. And they shall be tried as gold in the fire, right? In these trials, fiery trials, right? Jacob's trouble, which is everybody's trouble, right? This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 14. It says, woe, which means judgment, weeping and gnashing of teeth to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword, which is Esau Edom, also the ICBM missiles, right? And of course, everything that Esau come with, you know, the drones, the laboratory, what do they call it? Gain of functions, right? Those are all swords, right? It says the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, right? Race wars, civil wars, right? It's all on the. It's evident right now. These are things that the apostles had taught us forever ago. We believed and we seen it, but it's beyond evident at this point. But people are going to. They still, hey, bro. When the Lord said gross darkness to people, he really meant that, bro. People are literally going back and forth every day, unmoved by this. Like they're not even. It is, especially Jake, right? Because that's what it says. It should be like an astonishment. You know what I'm saying? Who are these peculiar people that you could freaking walk and just be like, they're coming. Obviously, he's declaring war against you. I don't know how else to cut it, especially against you Negroes, right? Mainly against you Negroes, but against you Latinos, against you Native Americans, right? Hey, it's plain to see, right? Right? The Lord said, what? Make this plain upon tables. And that's ultimately, Lord willing, that's what this is. I'm making it plain upon the table of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And it says, one people shall stand up and fight against another. And swords, right? The modern day sword is the gun, whatever you can get your hands on to kill someone with, right? In their hands. And for there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another, right? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, right? And that's what's getting ready to happen. That's what they're talking about now, right? If that's even true. Some people are saying that they're that the cartel is putting bounties on what is it called? On certain, government officials, right? That's what they say. That's what they're saying. So that's like a form of not regarding the kings nor princes. And the cause of their actions shall stand in their power, right? And ultimately, one day the bubble's just going to pop, man. It's just going to pop. Whether if it's a false flag, one of those, another CK event, or some type of something that's going to get people to just embellish in what they wanted to do anyway, right? Especially against you so-called Negroes. That's who they hate the most, because not only do the Edomites hate you, the self-proclaimed so-called white man hate you, you still got Ephraim, you still got Manasseh, you got Issachar, you got goddamn everybody against you, right? Not to mention drones and robots. So Jake, you got it. Hey, you the main one who needs the Most High, bro. But you going around. Oh man, it's just it's sad and heartbreaking. But it is what it is. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power, and a man shall desire, right? Martial law. That's what he's talking about. Ultimately, let's prepare. Let's use this for training. Let's use these inner cities, these Democrat cities, for training for these Jakes, for you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, and especially for you Negroes, and shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, right? For because of their pride, these cities shall be troubled. And that's the time that you're living in. You're living in a time of Jacob's trouble, man. You're living in a time of trouble, man. Big, deep trouble is about to come on this place, man. Trouble's coming to America, right? And the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid, man. And see, and even these tough, big, so-called police guys, these sheriffs and military men, right? Your MI6 and your what's the SEAL Team 6 and SEAL Team 7 and whatever else they want to come up with. You are going to be afraid, bro. You are going to be afraid. The Lord is coming for you. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to put fear in every single soul. He wants his propers, man. You're going to fear the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakha HaKodash, man. Period, man. Yeah, so this is Isaiah chapter 65, verse 12. It says, therefore, I will number you to the sword, right? Which Esau, Edom is coming, right? He's going to number you Israelites to the sword, right? You so-called Black, Hispanic, and even these other nations, right? Things are going to happen here. But this is talking about you Israelites. But ye shall bow down to the slaughterer, right? Which that's Esau. Esau's the slaughterer, right? Because when I called, ye did not answer, right? We out on the highways and the byways giving you these, the word of God, right? we out on the highways and the byways, and also these digital epistles. And hey, you don't hearken, right? You don't listen. You did not answer, right? You didn't come say, hey, yeah, here I am, Lord. What's going on? You need me to do anything? And I will, when I spake, ye did not hear, right? Through the prophets, through the men of the Lord, ye did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not, right? You just did your own thing. So the Lord's about to allow Esau, the cruel Lord, to slaughter you Jakes, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. It says, therefore, thus saith the Yahweh power, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakal Kadash, behold, my servants shall eat, right? The true men of the Lord is going to eat, but ye shall be hungry, right? Behold, which means feast your eyes, look, pay attention. My servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, right? Look what's going on. My servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed, right? Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, la'ab, their mind, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, la'ab, your mind, right? And what was it? They say that Jake has this high number of mental health. And that day, that's gonna skyrocket, man. All of you gonna be in mental health conditions, bad mental health conditions, right? Because then the Lord said, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Hey, see, mental health, man. You're gonna be a true mental health crisis, right? Because you Jakes didn't want to listen. The Lord's gonna send the slaughterer, Esau, Edom, to come against you, but the elect is gonna be okay, right? It says, and ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, right? Because 2/3 have to die, right, to be a sacrifice for the elect's sake, ultimately, right? You're gonna leave your name and all these things you did. You was the dope boy. You was the world's greatest rapper. You know they wanted to know who's the best. Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. And then the other one said, Nas said, nah, the best is Pac, Nas, and Big, whatever. And now people, Kendrick and Drake and Pusha T, or whoever they want to call who's the great. All that's for naught, man. You're going to leave it for a curse unto my chosen, for the outer one, power, the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, shall slay thee. Hey, you're going to die. A lot of you Jakes are going to die. 2/3 of Israel is going to die here in America. And shall call his servants by another name, right? Lord, King, right? Priest, right? Because, hey, Father, right? Because a lot of you are going to come back through the loins of those men that you proverbially shit on, right? Right? Now you're going to come back as their children. Now you got to say, hey, dad. Yeah. You could call them by a whole nother name. Says and so that who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, of truth, and he that sweareth, right, made an oath in the earth and sweareth by the power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hidden from my eyes, right? The Lord is going to basically make cleansed the elect, in the kingdom come. That's talking about heaven, the new heaven and the new earth, which will be the elect, right? So this is Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 32. It says, "This thus saith Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai of hosts," which means armies. "Behold," which means look, pay attention, feast your eyes upon. "Evil shall go forth from nation," what? "To nation," right? And that's the thing that's coming upon this earth. "And a great whirlwind shall be raised upon from the coasts of the earth, and the slain of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, shall be at that day from one end of the earth even to the other end of the earth," right? And that's ultimately what the Lord is doing, judging throughout the whole entire earth. "They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried." That's how many people are going to die, and that's how fast they're going to die. People are not even going to get buried. People are going to be dying super fast. Was a dude from Lean On Me expeditiously? Yeah, hey, that's what's going to happen. Expeditiously, you're going to die fast. It says, "They shall be dung upon the ground," right? That's what's coming. But the elect is going to be all right. Right? Yeah, this is Amos chapter 6, verse 8. It says, "Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai power, hath swore by himself, saith Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, power of hosts, I abhor the excellency of Jacob," right? So you Jake, so you got a lot of great things and achievements and things, and ultimately you're the Lord's children. You're meant to be you're the elect, so to speak. But the Lord is choosing an elect out of the elect because a lot of you didn't listen, you didn't hearken. So even though you're excellent as far as being from the seed line of Jacob, a lot of you are like a degenerate plant, as the scripture says. So the Lord has to reject you. He has to not even look at the part that you're from the seed of Jacob, because what is judgment time, right? "I abhor your excellency of Jacob, and hate his places thereof, and will deliver upon the city," right? What city? Babylon the Great, America, "with all that is therein," right? Even you Edomites are going to get it, right? Everybody that's in this place is going to get it. So Jacob's trouble is going to be everybody's trouble. It says, and it shall come to pass, if there remain 10 men in one house, that they shall die, right? So, hey, it's going to be great deaths and great numbers, right? So this is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother," right? So-called black on black, so-called white on white, black against white, white against black, Hispanic on Hispanic, Hispanic against white, white against Hispanic. Everybody coming together as one big melee, just fighting all sorts of things. And then it's just going to come down to simple principle: water, food, right? And it says, "Every one against his neighbor, city against city," right? "And kingdom against kingdom," right? Same thing Yahushua said, right? How do you know the day, the end? What's the signs of the end? And hey, we could see that's what's happening. It says, "The spirit of Egypt shall fail," and we can see that it's failing, right? The stock market's about to crash, right? They're about to bring in the AI, which jobs are slowing down. There ain't no jobs. There's no the buying power of the dollar is low. The jobs are low. Everything's low. Everything in this place is failing. Yeah, democracy's failing, right? It says, in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the council, right? And they're not coming up with any great ideas or anything. So, the greatest idea is to push more tariffs, this and that. But it's smart because you want to crash the dollar to bring in the MARK, right? Which is the mark of the beast, right? And, digital surveillance, global technocracy and imprisonment of its citizens. But therefore, it's gonna push the Lord to come in and defend the elect. So really, it's a no-win situation for them. It's gonna fail. The counsel thereof, and they shall seek to their idols, right? They're gonna pray to Satan, pray to Sheba, and whatever. They're gonna bring out their technology, the AI. They're gonna go to NASA and tell them what do you see in outer space, and they keep seeing these chariots pop up. So then they get more scared. They get more afraid. They don't know what to do. So they go, oh my God, what do we do? Let's call to Satan that they and to them that have familiar spirits. So they're gonna go talk to these people so they can have these seances. So they can talk to Satan. People who have familiar spirits, they can talk to the spirits. And to wizards, right? They're trying to figure this thing out, right? And the Egyptians, right? Because this is another spiritual. Now I might as well say it. America is also spiritually known as Egypt. This is not talking about ancient Egypt. This is talking about spiritual Egypt, which is America, right? And it says, matter of fact, let's get that. It says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. And that's Donald Trump. That's what he said. That's a cruel thing to say. Let's just make these cities be training grounds for the military or the National Guard. Live training, right? Because that's what Bibi does, right? What's his name? And not a Jew, right? That's what he does. Live tests on those Palestinians. He used it's called Hapsir, and if you break the Hapsir down in English, right? Because that's their Yiddish Hebrew. It's Hapsir, and you break it down, it means the gospel, which is the same thing as surveillance. It's this AI surveillance, right? With drones and all sorts of things and knowing what targets to hit. And that's what they're bringing with the Palantir, right? A cruel Lord, into the hands of a cruel Lord, and the fierce king shall rule over them. That's what Trump is doing. He's letting you, ain't no more presidency. Ain't no president. He's the ruler. He is the king. And he's ruling over them, saith the outer one, power Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts, right? That's what's happening, right? Yeah, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 10. Behold, of course, feast your eyes, look, pay attention. My people is led as a flock to the slaughter by your leaders, right? The Lord said that you have leaders that are like lion dogs that refuse to bark. They're not telling you that the MOTB is the micro C hip. They're not telling you that this is the battle. They're not preparing you for the battle, right? But the Lord said for the true men to prepare you for the battle, to warn you, right? And that's ultimately what we're doing. We're just telling you this is definitely a battle, right? This is not for the light or the faint of heart. This is trueness, man. The truth of Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. It says, my people are led to as a flock to the slaughter, and I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Right? Come on now, let's come on, follow me. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt. Right? Like I said, America spiritually Egypt. Smite Egypt with plagues as before. And there's never been in history that the Lord smite Egypt with plagues twice. He only did it that one time. The 10 plagues that he did for Egypt, that was at that time. But now he says he's going to smite Egypt again, which is the spiritual Egypt, which is America, Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, and also spiritually known as Egypt, with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. And see, all the land of ancient Egypt did not get destroyed because people live in ancient Egypt, right? This is going to be destroyed to the point where no one's going to be able to live here ever again. And it says, and Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations shall be smitten, right, with plagues and punishment that the power, the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, shall bring upon it. And that hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missiles, not to mention the race wars, calamities, death, pestilence. There ain't no more. This is done. The kingdom of Edom is done. But ultimately, the Lord is allowing him to what? To come smite you, you Israelites, right? Because you are spiritually Egyptians, right along with these Edomites, man. So that's why the Lord's going to raise up you Egyptians against Egyptians, man. Right? Yeah, so this is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plagues wherewith Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, right? These other nations, and also 2/3 of his own people, right? And Jerusalem is basically being the elect. Jerusalem is the elect. Their flesh shall consume away while they are standing upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, which are the hypersonic intercontinental ballistic missiles. There's nothing hotter than that. They give you an estimation that it's like the core of the sun, but that's just them guessing. It could even be hotter, and not to mention when you're dropping 200 million of these nuclear missiles. I mean, the heat is going to be ridiculous, man. When America is the lake of fire, right? That's what this is, right? Why they stand, right? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And that's ultimately the end game, man. That's what the Lord has for this place. But in the meantime, in between time, before that happens, obviously, and it shall come to pass in that day, right? That was the end game, but the Lord's telling you in between, right? He give you the end from the beginning, and it shall come to pass in that day, before the great missiles come, that great tumult, right? Race wars, calamity, tumult, fighting, right? Battles, wars from Yahweh shall be among them, right? You so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. And they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, right? Everybody gonna be grabbing their neighbor and punching them, shooting them, killing them, stabbing them, whatever it is, man. Race wars, calamity, fighting against each other, lack of bread. That's the thing that's happening. But ultimately, this dude is declaring war on you, right? He's saying that he's gonna he's definitely the cruel Lord, right? It says every one on the hand on his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor, right? To fight against him, right? And that's ultimately what's coming to America, right? Nothing but civil war, race wars, calamities, death, pestilence, and all of it's speeding up. So with all that, I want to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and do well. To the elder apostles, bishops in Connecticut, the bishops, the preachers, the teachers, the evangelists, and the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect, a shalom to the Israelite foreigners, whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through your father and have come back to the fold. Hey, shalom to your sisters, your Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence and a Bible ball. Kwam Yasharallah, and a Bible ball.